Do you want to own a piece of Manchester United? Well, then watch this video for sure, because you can. But we always want to read this disclaimer carefully. I mean, there's nothing more fun than reading disclaimers, frankly. So do your good deed of the day as well, and like and subscribe, because there is a portfolio here of, football clubs that you can invest in. So Manchester United here is on the top of the list. English football team, 32% from the low, 15-ish% from the 52-week highs. If we go here to the company's website, the official Manchester United website. Okay, this is a very well-known football club. Doesn't need a whole lot of introduction. Has a lot of international fans. So yeah, I do watch, football every now and then myself. I'm one of those characters that watch, a broad portfolio of sport. Okay, a little bit of everything. So here you have the distance that the stock has traveled over, quite some time, ever since it went public here in 2012. So 22% gain. As you can see, this stock is very, very, very choppy. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. Let's look at how reliable the time cycles are. I mean, there is some reliability here to the time cycles. Some have been larger, some have been a bit smaller. Let's look a bit. There's something here, but the cycles have changed through time as well. Okay. So if you look here at, the most recent developments, there's been, a bit of a pullback, but what I do find rather interesting is that if you look long term, okay, we have fallen back to a level where there's been a lot of support in the past. So see, support, here is the support level. Well, this is kind of also resistance, I guess. Support, horizontal support, here you could argue resistance. Here we are back to support, resistance. A bunch, so basically this is a key level. That's where I'm getting. Interesting. RSI is close to the neutral zone. Let's go to the daily data points. First off, the correlation with the S&P 500 is minus 40%. Looking here at the daily data points, the interesting thing here is that we are close to touching the 50-day moving average. Looking at the track record of that moving average, you see that we have touched it a bit here before. Here it functioned as support. But because this stock moves in these up and down cycles, we will slice and dice moving averages much more frequently than we will when looking at a stock that is very clearly trending in either a bullish or a bearish direction. So moving averages are a bit messy to analyze when you have these kinds of price action. But there is a support area. You look here at accumulation distribution in blue, a very nice pickup. So there definitively are buyers here. There's a bullish divergence between price and AED. That's interesting. RSI has fallen back to a level where, buyers tend to show up. Certainly you need to go into the low RSI for buyers to really, reliably panic buy. Also, the upper end of the RSI seems to be, relatively clear rejection level. So definitively it does respect RSI in a rather substantial way. Yeah, so from a technical perspective, I think this looks interesting. There's a 68% positive correlation here with the S&P on the daily data points. This is interesting. I think especially the horizontal long-term support levels we found, they are most interesting. They really are the ones that should hold. We expect them to hold. So bulls need to do their thing. Looking here at the seasonality of the stock, it becomes a bit messy because you can see that March is a bad month. It's weak, there usually is a loss and only closes higher 33% of the time. However, April is significantly stronger and there usually is here a gain of 3.8%. Well, that's the average. May is also usually has a gain, but it is weaker, and June is the worst month. So there is some very clear seasonality. Very, very seasonal. I mean, there's a huge difference between the strongest months and the weakest ones. huge. Looking here at Finviz, they draw the trend lines, and we were rejected from them. They also draw horizontal support right here that we are at this moment. We don't have an average analyst price target. The problem here is that the price targets are very old, but because Manchester United has been stuck in this big range ever since it went public, we can use them more than we could in other instances. Based on the current price, which is $17.11, all of these price targets, except, the one from 2012, all of them are significantly above the current price. So you could interpret it as bullish, even though, to be perfectly clear, these are old price targets. However, when we go to Saks.com, they have a number 3 hold, but they have an A value score. That's fantastic. A value. So if you're a value investor and you like football, it doesn't get much better than this. You don't. It's not like you have a lot of options either, but at least, A value. Degrowth, mediocre. Industry rank, bottom 21%, leisure and recreational services. I would say this is much more specific. The market cap is ominous 666. So that's epic market cap here. And the symbol, right, of Manchester United is this devil. So this definitively interesting, very interesting. Dividend, there's a 1% dividend. So even though it's been shuffling sideways since it went public, at least you do get a dividend. Yeah. So putting it all together, looking years into the future, I think that this is just a very interesting level. There's a lot of horizontal support. We are stuck in a range, and when you are, investing in range-bound stocks, you definitively want to buy it at the lower end of the range. This is not like the low of the range. That is certainly down here. There's reasons here to be bullish. Looking at coming weeks and months. Yeah, I would lean in a bullish-ish direction, not like roaring bullish, but clearly this stock would benefit a lot from clear reopening. Another thing, and that is, because Manchester United they are such a strong brand, and there's a lot of ways in the digital space, especially, even looking into the esports and stuff like that, where they can do things other football clubs can't. Hence, if there ever was a football team that could reinvent themselves to be much broader than they are now, it would be Manchester United. So I do think that this is just an interesting opportunity for them, an interesting opportunity for investors, and I lean bullish, but there's obviously some annoying things about a stock that is range bound, because the reality of the situation is that if you bought Manchester here, up down, you have all of a sudden you have a 16% gain, then you have a 62%, I think, and then all of a sudden you have a minus 30%. So it can be very annoying, but you know that by looking at the chart.